make sure all of their phones are out of their pockets. All their keys are out of their pockets. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to go over all of my ideas for groom and groomsmen photos. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to be creative with these guys, and honestly, build rapport with them and have a really fun time. Most of the time, brides and bridesmaids want to take photos over groom and groomsmen, but I wanted to go through a bunch of different photo ideas, things that I do on wedding day to get the most out of my groom and groomsmen photos. First, starting off with groomsmen, or really groom details, I think this is often an oversight on wedding day. Oftentimes what I'll do if I get there and they're not dressed yet, I will take all of the groom stuff away, get some of the jacket hanging, get the shoes and the tie, and I'll be putting in photos in this video throughout, like as I'm talking. I do that the first, like as soon as I get to the groom and groomsmen, I'll take a bunch of his stuff away, do all those details, give it back to him, and tell them, okay, you're ready to get dressed now. Then once they're dressed, I'll get obviously like a close-up of those details on him as well. So other detail shots that you can get with groomsmen, this is something that I've seen more and more at weddings. A lot of the times they will all wear either matching fun socks or different fun socks. I actually recently did a wedding and they were all wearing different Marvel superhero socks. And so I always get the sock shot. So they kind of lift up their pant leg. I get those kinds of details as well. I think the guys like doing those silly photos anyway, so I always make sure to get those. And also at the wedding that I just did, not only were they wearing Marvel socks, but they also had like corresponding cufflinks to match their superhero socks. So if somebody had Spider-Man socks, he had a Spider-Man cufflink. It was really cute, so I made sure to get that photo as well. So those small details with the groomsmen is just, I think it helps them have more fun, and you're also not leaving out those details because obviously there was thought put into that. So definitely get groom's details. Hopefully these kinds of ideas inspire you and are helpful to you. Groom by himself. I want to talk about just the groom by himself. I usually take the groom and do his photos first anyway. A lot of the time, I'm not kidding, a lot of the time we're waiting on a groomsman to get there. Even though they said, hey, be here at 2:45 or be here at 4 o'clock, there's usually a groomsman lagging behind and we're waiting for them. So I'll go ahead and grab the groom, do all of his portrait shots first. So if I can be done with the photos as soon as possible, I've never had a groom or groomsman complain that they wanted more photos. That's all I'll say about that. Groom posing by himself. I kind of go through a couple different poses. So the first one will be the jacket will be buttoned. He will do left hand over right hand and he can smile at me, and then we'll do like a serious one where he's not smiling. I do full body, then I go a little bit tighter and closer to him. I'll even sometimes have them angle towards me a little bit versus being straight on. Then I will have them actually play with the button of their jacket. They can unbutton and button it back together a couple times if they want to. I'll have them look down while they button. I always do a GQ kind of photo where they'll look off into the distance while they have their, they're buttoning their jacket or whatever. I'll have them smile directly at me while buttoning their jacket. But I really like that button and looking off in the distance look, and I think a lot of the guys like that too. So then I'll have them actually unbutton their jacket and put their hands in their pockets with their thumbs out, with the jacket like behind their hands. And again, getting the full body, getting in tight, have them smile at me, have them look away, be serious, have them look away and smile. You can kind of get a lot of poses by just having them smile at you and smile away and serious at you and serious away. Makes it really easy. So now that the jacket is unbuttoned, I'll actually have him play with his cufflinks. Sometimes you can have the jacket buttoned and then play with cufflinks, but sometimes it just depends on like the fabric and if it's bubbling kind of weird or whatever. So I think most of the time I'll have them actually unbutton their jacket and kind of play with their cufflinks. And this can mean like cufflinks or watch, whatever they are, like looking down, kind of adjusting their sleeves or their watch or their cuff, whatever it is. And I just think those kinds of shots are pretty cool as well. Now, if there is a very cool like decor piece, let's say a nice leather chair in the groom suite or a cool couch, yes, I will definitely have them sitting on that couch or that chair, kind of look out the window, smile at me. Again, just looking at me and looking away, all those different variations. And then I usually open it up to the groom. Hey, are there any poses that you want to do? And I had one groom want to go and get his shotgun and a cigar. And so we have some portraits of him holding a shotgun, smoking a cigar. And that's what he wanted. And I'm so glad I got to give that to him. So I try to leave some time in the groom portraits for photos that he will think is funny. But sometimes grooms are like, oh no, I think we got everything. And for the most part, we did get everything. Those are kind of my core go-to moves for solo groom portraits. You can also get, the groom walking towards you, smiling, looking down, looking over there. You can get more of those movement pieces as well. So I hope you found those ideas helpful. Next, I want to go into the getting ready photos. I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit here, but getting ready photos for guys are really easy because they're really just putting on jackets and fixing their ties. So I have them redo a bunch of stuff. Sometimes the groom will already be dressed when he gets there. I'll have him take his jacket off and I'll have his best man or his dad put his jacket on him. Get those photos of them, him someone helping him put his jacket on, and then I'll have the groom face the best man or his dad, whoever is helping him get ready at this point, fix his tie, fix his boutonniere, dust off his shoulders, make him look good. I'll say like, okay, now adjust everything, make sure he's looking all right, Those make for really nice photos as well. For the groomsmen, I'll just get them helping each other with their ties. I usually teach them how to put on boutonnieres and I take photos of their attempts and then I usually go in and just do it for them because I do this a lot. Hanging out photos are a little bit more difficult. It depends on how much time you have. If you have a second photographer, like my second can go and hang out with the guys a lot longer than I can usually if it's just me on wedding day. A lot of these hanging out photos, I'll have them do a cheersing shot. So if they have beer or whatever it is there, all cheer, take a drink together, take photos of those. One time at a recent wedding, actually this year, the groomsmen, they did not have any drinks, not even water. And so they all had like little sandwiches. So they toasted sandwiches. They really liked it. So that worked out really well for them. And then sometimes they're like, oh, can we try this in the getting ready room in the groom suite? And then sometimes you get some fun photos that way, but in terms of hanging out, I'll just get them kind of chatting with each other, but the bulk of the photos for grooms and groomsmen are helping them get ready actually, or a cheersing shot or something like that, a bit more staged. So now moving into the actual group shots of groomsmen, I start with the whole group. We usually start with, I don't know if I call it this or everybody calls the flying V, where it's like this. I'll put in a photo of what I mean. I start with that, and I always make sure that's left hand over right hand when buttoned. Then we'll unbutton jackets and put our hands in our pockets. And again, I'm getting the tight shot. Then I'm backing up, getting full body. I'm having them smile at me. I'm having them be serious and not smiling. Some of the time, the groom and groomsmen will have sunglasses that they all want to wear. So I'll have them pull out their sunglasses for some of these photos, like left hand over right or hands in pockets with the jackets open. Okay, let's grab our sunglasses. Make sure all of their phones are out of their pockets. All their keys are out of their pockets. Either tell them to leave it in the groom's getting ready room or have them set it aside. Just make sure that no groom or groomsmen have any phones or keys or anything in their pockets because it will show up on camera. So another group shot that I really like to do is the walking shot. I usually have the groom in the middle and everybody, the groomsmen, pretty evenly spaced out on the sides. And I say, adjust your cufflinks, your tie, your watch, your buttons, but don't look at me. And I'm like, you're looking over there, you're looking at the ground, you're looking at each other, just don't look at me. And walk slower than any normal human would walk. And so we do this a couple of times and it gets some pretty cool shots. Sometimes without sunglasses, sometimes with sunglasses. And then you can always get, you know, a walking towards you with, you know, looking at you as well. But I prefer when they don't look directly at the camera when they're doing these walking shots. Another photo for a group is kind of like a little bit of a tackle situation. I always say that please do not tackle the groom to the ground, but it's kind of, you know, shaking the groom, shaking his hand, patting him on the back. I've had some groomsmen kind of stand off to the side and like run at the groom, but the groom is facing me and doesn't see them behind him. I've had that. I've done that before, and I just think the pictures turn out kind of cool. Like, as long as they don't tackle into the ground, and, you know, this will also depend on their level of intoxication. Take that into consideration as well, but I think it just makes for a very fun shot. Now, I see a lot of people, and I don't normally do this with my groom and groomsmen, but there is the tossing photo where the groomsmen will throw the groom in the air. Now, if that is your style, totally fine. It's not really my style. Does it make for some silly pictures? Yes, but I don't want to risk damaging the boutonnieres, messing up the suit, dropping the groom, so I tend to personally stay away from any throwing in the air kind of photo. Another group photo that you can do is kind of like an album cover, is what we say. So maybe some people are kneeling down, maybe a squad pic, if you will. A lot of the time it depends on the groom and groomsmen. I've had groups like ask for this before. I've had groups ask for this for their like bridal party before. So it's also a really fun picture to get as a group. One group shot that I got recently, the groom really wanted to show his ring to his groomsmen and them all freak out. That's always a fun one as well. It depends on the group, but I mean, most of the time, groom and groomsmen are down for that kind of photo because it is kind of silly. Moving away from the big group shots for groomsmen into like individual groomsmen. So I will always do groom plus one groomsman. So everyone gets a photo with the groom. And I always do a normal one, so one of them smiling. I will pose them. So we're doing a normal, nice smiling photo. I'll do a full body, come in for a little bit tighter of a shot. And then I will tell them that to do a funny one. And this is when, you know, their personalities kind of come out. So maybe it's like they've been best friends since childhood. So he's cradled like a baby or a piggyback ride or whatever it is. I'll usually say beforehand, I'll tell all the groomsmen, like, as you know, we're gonna do individuals now, and I need every one of you to think of a funny pose to do with the groom. Now, I forgot to mention this in a group photo, but if there again is like a bench or a chair or a couch or something really cool at the venue, I will also take them over there and take photos there as well. I just forgot to mention that. That is pretty much it. That was a lot. I hope that this video is helpful to you, and I hope you feel inspired when you go to photograph grooms and groomsmen. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!